Derek here, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Leaf Green. Last episode, we were exploring this whole city. We ended up going backtracking everywhere and ended up getting our bike finally, and we were using this to speed up the process of exploring on Route 10. And in this episode, we're going to go into Rock Tunnel and hope for the best that we are able to progress through the story, honestly. I don't know what we're supposed to do, honestly. By the way, if you notice, while I was fighting some of these Pokemon in the wild with these trainers, I ended up replacing Volterra with Rattata so we can use Cut, but also moving around Derek too, because as you notice, since we have Orphan with us, we really don't need, sad to say, we really don't need Derek, because Orphan might be in the most, kind of the superior version, honestly, in my opinion. Then again, Derek is up there too, but like I said, Derek was never going to be a full party member. He's just a friend that we've made along the way that helped us carry us and everything. And since we have Raphael up here, I'm probably gonna have probably for the best that we have Raphael here, because legit the next couple Pokemons we're gonna go into that whole tunnel right here is the Rock Tunnel, right? Probably gonna face up a lot of Rock type Pokemon, so probably for the best that we have Raphael out in the open and carry us. But before we do so, go over here, not Pokemon. Go to our bag. Some people were, some NPC mentioned before that we need to have Flash as we go through, what's it called, in this tunnel, because straight up we're gonna be walking in there blind. I mean, some people probably have already gone there like without Flash, but I'm gonna use Flash. And we're gonna learn it teach it to Volterra, because like I said, she's not she's not a party member, but we're gonna still use her as her usefulness, because we really don't need it. Thunder Wave, really not too much of a huge issue here. You can learn that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, proof you learn. You forgot Thunder Wave, but you learn Flash. Put the CD on his head. You're gonna learn Flash, and you're gonna love it. Anyways, now we learned that. We're gonna go in here, and oh, by the way, looks like trees can cut it. You want to cut it down? Sure. Why would I want to cut it down though? Is it gonna provide value? What's the point of having these trees up here? I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, we're gonna go in here, and can we use our bike? Can we use our bike? Come on, no. We can, and ooh, it's getting dark now. Get used to doing this, because later on, each time when you Flash is not always for certain. It's gonna get dark every so often, so get used to that. And wow, there's a lot of stuff here, but honestly, there's a lot of Pokemon. Oh, I spoke too soon. I'm gonna not put on Repel, honestly. Where were you? Where were you when we needed you? Where were you when we needed you the most? Oh, well, Mankey appeared. So I knew Mankey was in this game, and I kind of wanted a Mankey to be part of my team, because I did mention before, back in Pokemon Legends CA, I said, and I quote, if there is ever a Mankey in the game, he will automatically be part of the team. And Mankey, you can get Mankey in the beginning of the game, but I was very unfortunate of getting one, because I wanted to raise it as he was like under leveled. But now there's no point in it. I really don't need a Mankey in my team, and honestly, thank God I'm not using Mankey, because there's someone else I'd rather use, and guess what? It's gonna be a fighting type later, but I'm gonna use that fighting type instead of Mankey. Sorry, Mankey, but if you end up appearing in Pokemon Wind and Waves, you will be my first choice. But otherwise, get out of here. Get out of my sight. I don't want you in my sight. How dare you? How dare you not appear sooner? Oh my god. But oh well. Whatever. And what do you have to say, man? Pokemon fight! Ready? Go! Okay. Okay, nerd. You didn't have to be... You know how I said last episode I don't have any... I thought you're very, like, I thought people in the fairy community are cool. Exclude this guy. He doesn't count, right? This guy doesn't count. Don't act like he's one of you guys anymore. Don't act like he's legit. I'm like, what the fuck? I feel like you might not be. How are you? How are you gonna consider yourself as a Pokemon? A Pokemon if you're gonna use your own Pokemon? Like what? If anything, you need to battle yourself. You yourself need to battle my Pokemon. Stop acting like you're a fucking Charizard. Anyways, Slowpoke over here. Who's strong against it? I think Jean can do it. Jean got this. Even though you don't even have a fucking grass type move, which we need to find, honestly. We really do need to find a grass type move for you to learn. Because later on, once it evolves and once it continues learning moves and stuff like that, it's not gonna what's the word? It's not gonna learn any good moves that can provide physical moves, honestly. Realistically, it won't. But who knows? Maybe we'll find one day and have it teach it to Jean. I kind of want to have Jean learn Solar Flare, honestly, or Solar Beam, sorry, or Giga Drain, and one of those moves, honestly. But it looks like we're not gonna do so for the time being. And why are you making my tackles? How dare you have my tackle down? And come on, Jean, you got this. I believe in you. No. Stop wetting me, even though it helps me though, because it makes my mushrooms grow bigger, honestly. Come on, Jean, you got this. I believe in you. Stop it. How is it critical hit? Oh my god. I hate how it says critical hit, but it ends up like almost one-shotting my Pokemon. It makes no sense. And ooh, tackle. No. Oh, Jean. I swear. I keep glazing Jean. I really need to stop that. Otherwise, she's gonna feel too much pressure. Honestly, I need to stop doing that. Honestly, hopefully one day I'll stop. But until then, I'm just gonna continue glazing her because she deserves it. She deserves everything. She deserves the world. Honestly, I would give her anything. Honestly, I'm just saying that because I'm treating her well. Because later on, once she evolves, she's no longer gonna be the same Jean like we know her. She's not. She's gonna be something else. She's gonna be something else. Anyways. Oh, great. Who's gonna fight me now? Really? You? Like I said, I'm just gonna show up any new Pokemon that appears here and there. I'm not gonna show off the same Pokemon over and over. I guess we can't do anything about these rocks. I know these rocks are easily breakable. And why are you here? And I ended up catching this Mankey instead because I kind of didn't want to fight it. Plus, we get better rewards if we do end up catching Pokemon, so I haven't been doing that a lot lately. So I gotta do that right now. And oh my god, who is it? Oh, why? Why are you here? I don't need you. Like I said, I didn't need you. All right, and wow, drove into you. Honestly, I draw illustrations of Pokemon when I'm home. Okay, but how did you just wanted to find me, but why are you talking about your art? What? It makes no sense, honestly. And, oh, bite it, even though you're a water type. That's super effective. It's dark, it's dark strong against water type? Or what are you? Are you a psychic type too, or what? Because I have no idea why you're strong, or why you're weak against bite. Makes no sense. Oh well. Gotta do my research on that too. And oh my god. Better be something new. No, it's not. And I ended up getting revived in one of these Pokeballs. So thank god. Now we can finally revive someone when they're down. Hopefully they start appearing more in the shop because I kind of really want revives more. Because holy shit. You know how hard it is to fight Pokemon? And then later on, like, not have revived? Oh my god, I kind of want it. I really love revives. Realistically, it makes life so much easier. And why are you here? Oddish? I did not read what she said, honestly. Ooh. And let's see here. We do have Orphan out here, so we can just rely on him. Raphael has been over-leveled so far. I'm actually proud of him because usually Raphael was like the weakest one out of everyone ever since Derek came along. But now that we given Raphael the chance, he's started to become stronger, the full fledged turtle that he's supposed to be. And ooh, What do you have right now? Bulbasaur. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Really? Come on. You really thought that you were gonna stand a chance with me? Don't even. Alrighty then. Thank you, Orphan, for doing that. And, ooh, I think you're gonna learn a new move, if memory serves. Ooh, I lost! And you got $440. Thank you! I can finally afford the new revives! And, oh, God. What is it? Now, I always wonder, how would it feel like to explore a cave? Do you know about Pokemon cosplay? I don't. Let me guess, you're a cosplayer. So it's a cosplay! Meanwhile, there's out here in the world, people are actually wearing this because that's who they are. How dare you consider it as cosplay? No, I'm just kidding. With the Charmander. Honestly, I find it sad how Charmanders, I find his their life being sad because they had to rely on not wetting their tail. And you don't really see that with any Pokemon at all, if you really think about it. Because legit Charmander has a sad life. If it gets wet and gets extinguished, that flame, it dies. I'm like, that's so sad, and it stays like that as it evolves. Even if Charizard, if you're fighting a Charizard, just wet its tail, it'll just die. I feel bad for that Pokemon. I really do. Legit. Like, come on. Ain't no way it's gonna die once it gets wet, honestly. Ooh, whatever. But hopefully they, I kind of wish they added more small details like that to other Pokemon, honestly. Like, let's say for example, this Pokemon, Cubone. If you take away the skull, it becomes like a different Pokemon, or it becomes dead or something like that. Like, stuff like that. I kind of wish it never applied on, that it never applied on just only Charmander, or Charmander and Charizard. Like, come on, and Charmeleon. They gotta put those little details on other Pokemon too. And why am I facing you? And my early thought I had, oh my God. Oh, you're new. Hey man, how you doing, Machop? I kinda wanna catch you, even though I'm not gonna name you. By the way, I'm not gonna have it in part of my team. Even though it might be good to consider having though. But I'm not gonna have him. Instead I'm just gonna catch you. But just so have you in my Pokédex, because legit, this is a nice find. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on. Machop, be a bro. He looks so cute, not gonna lie. Look at him. He looks so cute. I always thought Machops were cool Pokemon they introduced. Like they've made, honestly. Because once it starts evolving, honestly, I would name this All Might, realistically. Is it a boy or girl? Hold on. It's a girl. I can't really go back anymore. Oh my God, actually really name her, huh? And I shall name you Maki. Honestly, if you understand Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that. Anyways, we're gonna name you Maki. Honestly, I think that's the best way. I think I named someone else Maki now. Think about it. If my memory serves, did I name someone Maki in the Pokemon Legends? I don't remember. On my early thought I had was I always wonder how would it feel like to go exploring to a cave. I never got a chance to, and honestly, even though people say, I know people think caves are kind of scary, honestly, because what if it collapses on you, or whatever, you just get stuck and whatever. But honestly though, if I ever been to a cave, I would probably live in one, honestly, because I feel like you get fully rested. It will be completely dark. Like you don't need it will be completely dark, and you will probably have the best night's sleep of all time, if you really think about it. Because like legit, you're probably just gonna feel fully rested because it's gonna be completely dark. And once it becomes morning, you can just come out of there and just feel fully rested. I think it would just mostly feel like, I wouldn't really live there, but I would probably sleep in a cave. And I don't think there's a lot of creatures in the cave, are there? I don't think so. I think there's just bats and stuff like that. But I think bats are just pretty chill. I don't think they would ever attack a human being, honestly, unless you aggravated them. And I don't think there's any any insects, actually, I don't know. Maybe there are insects now, think about it. But I don't know. I would probably take the risk regardless. I don't think there's gonna be spiders. Are there spiders in the cave? I am afraid of spiders. That's a thing. If there are cave spiders, then I probably won't. But either way, I know there are some caves that are like really nice with some of the crystals, that formations and stuff like that, and gemstones. Because maybe, and I know for a fact, part of me kind of wants to explore a cave just so I can like dig up some fossils and stuff like that, or make money out of it, you know. My Pokemon techniques will leave you crying. Why though? Why would you want to make a kid cry? You're so mean to me. And really? Your Pokemon skills with one Pokemon? Really? What makes you say that? I hope I made it. I should have just used Water Gun, honestly. Okay, I get Bite. It's okay too, so we don't really need to worry. Honestly, though, we could have one-shot it with Water Gun, but oh well. That's my bad, honestly. And yay! I give you a better technician. Well, yeah, because I have more than one Pokemon. Who only uses one Pokemon now? Come on, it's 2026, man. You gotta expand. You gotta use more Pokemon. And let me guess, you're gonna have one too? This tunnel goes a long way, kid. Really? How long? Can you tell us more after the battle? Oh shit! I'm gonna choke on my laughter right now. And Geodude. Really? Why are the hikers using Geodudes? And I keep using that round fucking... I mean, it worked, I guess. It worked, whatever. I guess it worked. And Geodude again. No, thank you. We're not gonna... Like I said, I assumed... I really did assume this whole this whole cave was gonna be mostly rock Pokemon, so... There we go. We're just gonna use Raphael to level up, honestly. And oh, you're level 29. You're about to reach level 30. But honestly, I'm sorry, Raphael, but I don't think you're gonna be useful for the next gym at all. Even though I'm leveling you up, I don't think he's gonna be any value in the next gym, because it is called a Rainbow Gym. I have a feeling it might be something that's weak against, or strong against Raphael. So we're probably not gonna be. He's not gonna provide any value to us. I have a feeling it might be a grass type. That's why it's gonna be Rainbow Gym, but who knows? Honestly, it might not be the case. It might be something else. But regardless, one can hope. One can hope that Raphael will be good into that gym. And oh, you win. Okay. How far deep is this? Watch for Onyx. They appear only occasionally. Really? High level ones can put the squeeze on you. Gotta be careful on that then. Oh no, we got an Onyx! Oh fuck! I didn't expect to fight! Watch out for Onyx! Alright, I'm not gonna find one, I'm just saying. Wow, we found one. Alrighty then, since we do have you, Pokeball question mark? Because I have a feeling we're gonna KO you with a fucking bite. Oh. Ooh, we gotta hope for the best. Come on, because I don't want to attack you. I don't. There you go. Thank God. Onyx. Honestly, always back then when I was a kid and when Pokemon was first ever a thing, I always thought Onyx was such a cool character, honestly. But then I found out it really isn't. It really is one of the weakest ones if you really think about it. As it grows, the stone portions of its body harden and become similar to black-colored diamonds. Oh. And do you want to give it a nickname? No, I don't. I really don't. But I always thought they were cool, and if anything, if I ever played Pokemon back then, like if I ever played Pokemon, once I ever start a Let's Play channel and get a Pokemon game, I'll get Onyx for sure. And then I found out Onyx was never really good when I started playing on the Nintendo DS and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it really isn't that good. I think Geodude is much better than Onyx if you really think about it. And by the way, I want to continue on with my story with my aunt. Back then, when I mentioned before how my aunt is was really against Pokemon because it was like, to her, it was the Antichrist or whatever. It was like sinful and everything. But she really was against it. But later on, she grew a fondness with over Pokemon because of it reminded her of her late son and everything. Um, Ever since my cousin passed away, um, my tia was like always like really into Pokemon ever since that, and ever since his passing. And she ended up getting Pokemon Go when it first came out. But once but later on, my cousins ended up getting Pokemon games too. They wanted to play, and they were like Ricardo, or Ricky. And by the way, my name is Ricardo, if you didn't know. By you can still call me Ricky regardless. But anyways, Ricky, like you should play with us, trade with us, and everything. But I never seen the hype for it. Realistically, I never did. I always thought that Pokemon was just one of those games that was not meant for me because legit, I never read into. And some other people say it really is a slow start. It really is a slow burn once you get into it. But I'm like this game too. It was really slow in the beginning, but then it started picking up, and I'm starting enjoying it really more, honestly. But like, but I wasn't really a huge fan of it, and I know a lot of friends were huge fans of it too. They always talk about it, and it was like, oh, my favorite one's Charmander, blah 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 blah. Oh, do you like Piplup? I love Piplup. And out of everyone in my family, the most huge diehard fan to Pokemon was my sister. She really loved Pokemon, and it really broke her heart, knowing that my tia didn't like Pokemon back then. But then later on, she grew appreciation with it because she always constantly needed to hide her plushie of Piplup. She really loved Piplup. It was one of her favorites, and she really needed to hide that Pokemon from my tia, honestly. And we're just gonna run away, by the way. And since we practically almost caught every Pokemon that's here, I'm probably gonna just end up using repels. And oh my god, stop fucking appearing! I'm telling a story. Anyways, my sister was a huge diehard fan of Pokemon, and I never went out. And for me, I never gone out of my way to get a Pokemon game. I never went out of my way to express that I love Pokemon or whatever. I always thought, if you like the game, cool on you. But for me, it's not it. Legit was not it for me back then. I really didn't like it. I was just like, meh on it. I loved the anime though. I really did love the anime, but playing the game itself, I was like, it's whatever, right? Because there's no action. You're not controlling the Pokemon. You're not using the button inputs. It needs to have action like that. But that's how I felt back then. But later on one day, when I was in middle school, my sister ended up buying me a game, and she ended up working at Stater Bros. And for her first paycheck, she wanted to be treating me to a nice gift, rather than giving me food. Actually, she did give me food. What the hell am I saying? Rather than like giving me other things, she wanted to give me a game, and I was playing it. I had a Nintendo 3DS at the time too, so I was like into DS games and stuff like that. So what ended up happening, my sister ended up getting me a game, ended up giving me Pokemon Black and White. And that was my first, like I mentioned before, that's my first ever Pokemon game. And since then, like I said, I was never a huge fan. I don't know why she gave me that game to begin with. And I told her like, oh, thank you, but I didn't have the heart to say, I don't like Pokemon. Because legit, I always said like, it's cool. Like, oh, she always asked me in my opinion, like, what do you think about this game? And I was like, oh, it looks cool. It's whatever, I guess, but it's cool. If you like it, you should get it, right? But she always say that whenever she asks me about games and stuff like that, or like what my opinion is on certain things, it's mostly because she wants to see my input and if I really wanted to get the game for myself. I never did wanted to get Pokemon, legit. I never went out of my way to ask my dad, like, hey, can you give me this game? I want this game so badly. Please buy it for me, whatever. And usually he does, like, whenever I do behave or whenever I do well at school, he buys me games and stuff like that. That's our trademark. And our trade-off. If I perform well in school, I get games and stuff like that. And I always do so. But I never went out of my way to get a Pokemon game because I was like never into it until later on. My sister ended up getting me Black and White, and honestly, I started liking it. Can you beat my power? I already seen a guy who. There's another guy who. Why are you copying him? Are you his brother or what? Literally. Geodude. Geodude, come on. We've already fought before numerous times. I've already spat at you. Almost what? I have 7 spits left. I'm getting thirsty. I need water. Anyways, but yeah, but ever since she got me that game, I don't know. It kind of like opened up for me. And I know a lot of people are like, well, that's a good thing because Pokemon Black and White has a good story. It's a good game. It's a good series. Like, it has a good story. It has good general vibes to it. Like, that's a good opening game. That's a good starting game to get into Pokemon. I agree with you. But like I said, I never read. I never read the games. So I was like, continue on. Like, whenever there's dialogue, I just spam through it. And the story, even I would agree that the story would be good, but I just didn't pay attention to it, realistically. And it is kind of like a huge letdown on me because I should have just read the whole game. Because ever since I saw someone else doing a Let's Play, I was like, wait. I had this game. You're telling me there was a huge hidden meaning and good storytelling in this game? What the fuck? How did I miss this? Like, I felt so bad, honestly. And Protect, unlike Withdraw, which raises defense, Protect actually prevents the enemy to actually attack you. So it may fail if used in succession. So whenever we constantly use it, it won't be any effective. But it enables to evade all attacks. So it really is good. It just blocks all attacks and not evades them. It actually blocks it. Probably will get rid of Withdraw, honestly, because we're not really using Withdraw at all. Even though it is kind of useful to get our defense high, this will guarantee to evade the attack. So kind of cool. But anyways, like I said, I never paid attention too much to the story, but ever since I got Pokemon Black and White, and even though some people say it is the worst generation because of the starters too, Oshawa was my favorite in that game. Realistically, he carried for me of what I love about the game and how it evolved to Samurai. Oh my god, that's awesome to me. But otherwise, and that was the first ever game that I ended up getting Lucario too, so I was like, oh, it's gonna be a staple now. Sadly, there's no Lucario in this game, so we can't really get one for our team. But there is a different replacement for it for later on, so I can't wait for that. So Black and White was my first ever Pokemon game, and ever since then, I told my sister, like, oh, cool, thank you, I love it. Even though it wasn't really completely 100% true, but I still liked the game. And ever since I told her that, she's been constantly getting me Pokemon games left from right. She ended up getting me Pokemon Sword and Shield. She ended up getting me Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. She ended up getting me Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And by the way, she's not getting me both of the versions. She's getting me one of the versions. I'm just mentioning it like I've been playing those games. And this, however, Pokemon Legends ZA and Pokemon Leaf Green has been the first ever Pokemon game that I ever went out of my way to get myself. Oh, Pokemon X and Y. My sister didn't get me that one, but my dad ended up getting me that one because my sister was the one that told my dad to get it. But anyways, for my birthday, no less. And honestly, it was a good birthday gift, honestly, because and over the time as she continues to get me these games, I didn't have the heart to tell her like I don't want Pokemon, right? Because even though Pokemon Black and White was a good way to introduce me to Pokemon games, I wasn't a huge fan of it regardless because I kind of wanted to continue on with the whole action and play other games in the meantime. Over time, as she continued getting me games, my love for Pokemon ended up becoming like, I ended up falling in love with Pokemon as the time goes on, because as the games go on, as I continue playing them, I'm becoming like I'm becoming grateful that my sister has ever gotten me these games. And I've always been grateful, regardless, because she went out of her way to use her own money to get me games like this, and not just this. Like she ended up getting me other games as well, and also like and by the way, she's my older sister, by the way. She's my older sister, and she always like takes care of me well, and always treats me well too. So it always breaks my heart every time she gets me this game, like this Pokemon game, because I never had a huge interest of it. But now, as time goes by, I really do love the Pokemon franchise. I really do. I will stand by. There's some games, some Pokemon games, I'm like, this kind of sucks. What the fuck? But realistically, though, I am enjoying them. I really am. And honestly, I'll continue playing it as time goes by. Honestly, as time goes by, I will always get the next Pokemon game. And hopefully, once Pokemon Win and Waves come out, I'm gonna go out of my way and buy that game for my sister, honestly, because she's been getting me a lot of Pokemon games as of lately, and as back then too. It's only fair that I return the favor. And even though she introduced me to even though she kind of did introduce me to this game or to the whole franchise and stuff like that, or got me into it, there's still a little hatred I have for Pokemon. Well, not really a hatred, but more like resentment. Because I don't know if I mentioned this story before in Pokemon Legends ZA, but honestly, I'm gonna mention this story. It's gonna be a staple, regardless as I mention this. Like I said, my sister's a huge fan of Pokemon. And like I mentioned, she's a huge fan of Pokemon and everything like that, right? My sister is a hardcore Pokemon fan to the point that she ended up getting Pokemon Go. So yeah, she's a huge fan of it. She ended up getting Pokemon Go once it came out. She convinced me on getting it too, but I was never into it so much as she was. She always went out of her way to go walk around, and whenever she went to work, and luckily work is close to where we live, she ended up walking here and there and always used Pokemon Go to catch all the Pokemon that's around us and everything, right? So, she's a hardcore fan. You can see it, right? But she never plays a Pokemon game at all. She never plays a Pokemon game because back then I never had her play my console or my DS and stuff like that, so she never gotten the chance to. But she is a hardcore fan regardless. And now that she has a Nintendo Switch, she's been playing Pokemon ever since she's able to do so. But anyways, but here's a story I'm trying to tell. What made me have a little resentment with Pokemon. Since she likes Pokemon Go, as you know, whoever has Pokemon Go, they always host events, as you notice, right? Events like wherever, like there's events like if you live in this area, like I mean, if you live in this state, there's gonna be an event where you'll get a lot of shiny Pokemon, or you get a specific type of Pokemon or whatever, right? And stuff like that. And by the way, BRB. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I ended up I needed to sneeze, and I ended up needed to go cook myself some food and anyways. Yeah, but my Pokemon Go always makes events and stuff like that, right? My sister loves those events so much. She loves them so much that she always goes to do some of those events. And she always like goes to like specific parks in California to do so with her boyfriend, or with her ex-boyfriend at the time. And they always do the whole Pokemon Go events together and stuff like that. One day in 2019, I started graduating. I had my graduation. And it was going to be a big day too, because we were so lucky that we were going to graduate at a stadium. So I was happy, and we were able to invite a lot of people. I ended up getting 10 tickets of whoever I wanted to invite. And I told my sister she can invite her boyfriend and everything. But funny thing enough, her boyfriend has a sister that's also graduating at the same time as me. So realistically, it wouldn't really matter if I gave him a ticket or not. But anyways, since I was graduating at a stadium, I was so excited. I wanted to invite a lot of people. I wanted to invite my dad, but my dad didn't want to go because during the time my mom and him separated, they didn't want to make it awkward for me. So they wanted to. So only my mom ended up going. I wanted to go. I wanted to invite my stepdad, but he ended up saying not to because he didn't want to waste the ticket, and also he was working at the time. But he ended up making up for me by giving me some food as a graduation reward, and I'm happy about that. But anyways, I ended up inviting everyone in my family, like my aunts, uncles, my favorite cousins. Sad to say, I have favorites, by the way. Favorite cousins and my grandma. And I wanted my sister to come, and obviously she has the ticket. She has a ticket regardless, right? My sister. By the way, sorry, sister. I know you don't want me to tell people this story, but I am gonna tell this story. Anyways, my sister didn't want to go to my graduation party or my graduation at all because she wanted to catch some Pokemon on Pokemon Go. And you might be wondering, like, oh, it's not that bad though. Like, if it's just Pokemon, like, oh, whatever, right? As long as she's like she could still make it to your graduation, right? No. During the time of my graduation, my sister, oh my gosh, I will never forget this day. During my graduation day, my sister and her boyfriend got tickets to go to Chicago because in Chicago they're doing a shiny event to catch some Pokemon, to catch a shiny Pikachu, no doubt. So she ended up saying, like, I can't go to the graduation. I have to go. I want to go catch this Pokemon. I don't want to miss out this event. So she missed out of my graduation just so she can catch a shiny Pikachu. And what's messed up is that even her boyfriend did the same thing to his sister. Because his sister was graduating on the same day I was graduating. So what the fuck was that bullshit? I can't believe I still can't I can't let it go. I really can't let go what she did why she did that, honestly. And I always bring it up. I really do bring it up. Every so often I bring it up to her face like, "Hey, remember how you missed out my graduation just so you can catch a Pikachu?" Remember that? And she regrets it. She really does regret it because ever since then, they broke up and everything, right? Her and her boyfriend broke up. And two, she doesn't understand. She looks back on that day and she doesn't really see the reason why she ended up doing something like that. Why would she would get tickets to go to Chicago just to go for this special event, just to miss out my graduation? Honestly, and what you're not gonna fight me or what? But yeah, sorry, sis, but come on. Why? Why did you have to do that? I still bring it up, like I said, just to mess with her. I'm still a little bit. I'm still bitter about it. I'm still butthurt about it. But honestly, though, I kind of gotten over it a little bit, and also I have ran out of BP. Holy shit! And also, I only mention it just to like get on her nerves and stuff like that, and she always like feels bad about it. And even though she feels bad about it, I'm not gonna let it go, because regardless, I think that's the reason why she keeps getting me. She keeps getting me Pokemon games because she still feels bad. And it kind of feels weird, right? Even though she feels bad how she missed out on my graduation and stuff like that, she chose to do that. She chose to do that. But yet she still gives me Pokemon games just for me to remember, by the way, that she missed out on that. But anyways, that's why I kind of am a little resentment towards Pokemon, because legit my sister missed out on my graduation, and it's not really a huge deal regardless, but still, how can you miss out on a graduation of your family member, like especially on your brother, your only brother for a fact, and just so you can catch a wild Pikachu? Like, come on. But anyways, enough said. That's gonna be it for this episode. Next episode, we're gonna go and continue on exploring this whole route and hopefully reach to Vermilion City or whatever city we need to go to, and hopefully obtain our next badge. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. What did this button do?